Good morning and welcome to CCK. We have an important update on what's happening at the Board of Veterans Appeals. With me today is Jenna Zelmer. And Jenna, we started receiving some board decisions. It's now December 22nd, and this past month, we started receiving decisions that were dated in July 2020. Can you tell us what's been happening with these board decisions and what it means for veterans?
Yes, Robert. So we started receiving copies of board decisions that had a cover letter that had stated that it had come to the attention of the board that their July and sometimes August decisions had not been mailed to that particular veteran. And I think we're going to show a redacted version of that letter on the screen here. But essentially what this means is generally, a veteran who disagrees with a board decision has 120 days from the date the board mailed the decision to appeal that to the Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims. So if they're unhappy with their decision, they want a court to review that decision to determine whether or not the board made any legal error. They have a set time period to appeal that. After that 120 days, usually that means the veteran is no longer able to appeal that board decision. The board decision is final. If they want to continue to pursue benefits, they're going to have to start all over back at the regional office, file either new and material evidence or new and relevant evidence with a supplemental claim, depending on, I guess now it's all AMA, so it's all new and relevant evidence with a supplemental claim. But in the past, it used to be new and relevant evidence under the legacy system. So practically, what this means is that if you can see from the date of this cover letter, the veteran had a July 7th, 2020 decision. And so if that had been mailed in a timely manner, they would have had until about November 19th. They would have had 120 days from the date the board had mailed it to appeal. Now, we don't necessarily know exactly how the court and how VA is going to treat them, but I think it's my understanding, it's our view that the time to appeal a decision won't start running until the date that the board mailed this cover letter, with this decision attached. So now the veteran will have 120 days from November 19th, 2020 to appeal their decision.
So the general rule is the date on the board decision is the date that starts the 120-day clock. So in this case, it looks like the date on the board decision was July 7th. So that would have started the normal clock to file the appeal. But because the board actually didn't mail it on July 7th, but mailed it on November 19th, and they say that in the letter, that presumably starts the 120-day clock. So my question to you is, how many of these, I'll call them oops letters, for lack of a better word, where the board acknowledged, hey, we didn't mail this to the veteran, how many have we seen at CCK so far?
So we've seen a little bit more than a handful, I would say between 15 to 20. The more concerning problem is that we continue to receive these letters. And so they started about a month ago, and every few days we do get a couple. So it's not clear how many decisions total the board forgot to mail, but we're kind of just keeping an eye on it to see, how many we continue to get. It might be something to do with COVID-19. I'm sure people are working remotely. It seems to have just been an oversight, but it's definitely something we're continuing to monitor.
So the bottom line is, if a veteran received one of these decisions where it says, we forgot to mail you the decision, whatever the date was, it's the date on the letter, the cover letter, that starts the 120 days if they want to appeal to the Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm just looking right now, and it looks like they're almost all in July. So hopefully it's just limited to that July time period, but we'll continue to monitor it and definitely provide an update as we know more information.
Well, Jenna, thank you for joining us this morning, and thank you all for listening. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us at ctk-law.com or reach out to us through Facebook.